where I'm like, yeah, if you were 6 feet, like,
oh my God. Yes, we were talking. I was like, if I was a dude, I would be so fucking dominant.
yeah.
And Karina's like, I would be in love with you. Why aren't you a man? We would be so perfect together. And I was like, I have a big fucking dick too.
You'd be 6'4" and you'd have a big dick and you'd be so dominant over me. I'd be like, hey.
Oh my God.
Solve all your problems.
I know.
Love each other.
I know.
Perfect. We get along.
I'm looking for all the baddies all over the world. Ladies, where my baddies at? I'm bad. You bad. Way bad. Where my baddies at? I'm bad.
Welcome to the Not So Secret Lives podcast. I'm your host, Shan.
And I'm your host, Karina.
And today is our 20th episode. Can we get a round of applause? Woo! Yes, go us.
So excited.
Oh my God, I know. So I read somewhere that I think it was 70 or 80% of people that start podcasts only make it to the 7th episode.
That's insane.
I mean, and look at us. We're basically millionaires at this point.
I wish.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Getting there, though. We got our first hate, bad.
We did. We got our first hate comment and I was a little flattered. I'm not gonna lie.
I was totally flattered. My gay work boyfriend, I told it to him today, and he's like, "You should fucking frame that."
Oh,
I was like, I think we should.
I seriously thought about it. I screenshot it. I was like, I'm going to save this in our Not So Secret Lives folder. I'm a little proud.
He said in a year, you should have an episode where you read all the read them out loud.
The hate comments.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would love to.
He was like, train wreck. I'm like, it's so funny because we are train wrecks. We admit that.
And we're a little proud. We're not going to lie.
But yeah, there we go.
Yes. Yay for us.
I know.
I'm sure that we're going to get a billion more after that.
It's fine. I don't care.
Love that for us. So for our 20th episode, we're going to do a thing that gets requested, I think, more than anything, is getting a male's perspective on dating.
Yes.
So we have our friend Shay here today. Yay. Welcome, Shay.
Hello. It's good to be here.
Oh my gosh. We're super pumped to have you on. So Shay has a very interesting dating history. He was married for 14 years, or with his ex-wife for 14 years. They were Mormon, and I'm guessing got married in the temple. Is that right?
Yep.
And you've been single for 10 years?
10 years now.
And you've had two somewhat-ish
relationships.
6 months-ish.
One was 6 months, and then one was 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's a little bit more substantial, but
yeah.
I mean, 10 years, you're running strong, my friend.
A veteran, just a veteran.
Yeah, you are. You need advice, I got it. I've been here as he's smoking a cigarette and taking a shot of whiskey. He's like, I got you. I'm just kidding. He's not. That's totally false. Well, we're super, super pumped to have you on. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living? What do you like to do for fun? Tell us the things.
Yeah. So I've grown up in the real estate space. So do real estate development, consulting, and now work in solar and renewable energy for a big real estate conglomerate. So we put solar and batteries on all kinds of different developments.
That's cool. Is it part of all of the same company that does it all? Or is it two separate companies that do it?
It's divisions of the same company, but we go through and, there'll be a real estate arm, and then we come and do what's called an energy company. So we do the solar, the battery, and we end up selling the energy back to the tenants. If it's a multifamily property and you rent, then we would, instead of paying Rocky Mountain Power, you pay us and we give you a little bit of a discount.
Oh, that's really cool.
And it's all green energy and solar. So yeah.
Oh, that's really awesome. So do you like what you do?
Yeah, I love real estate. I did my undergrad in finance, and then I had a master's degree at the University of Utah in real estate development. So
that's awesome. So you initially went to BYU.
I did. I graduated from BYU after going on a mission.
Yeah, you did. Had a kid.
I was your typical I was born in Wyoming, but grew up in Utah. So typical all-American Mormon kid.
Yeah, you were.
Love.
Yeah.
I love that you speak.
We love that
languages too.
Yeah, I mean, you get to go learn a language, and then I also dated a Brazilian girl, so learned Portuguese.
So you learned Portuguese. Okay.
Yeah. It works well when you're traveling and you date. So when you go to Mexico,
for sure,
Costa Rica, it comes in handy sometimes.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. So how was your experience from going BYU to going to the U?
Well, I at BYU, I was just newly married off of a mission. So it was not your typical, 22, 24-year-old experience. It was more married.
Well, for BYU, that was pretty fucking typical.
That's typical for BYU.
Yeah.
So I was just put my head down and work.
Yeah.
And, I went to school and worked and then got married. Then I didn't have a kid for 5 or 6 years. My first, so I waited.
Yeah.
Everyone else had 2
I
or
was
3
going to say,
kids
that's
while they-
pretty wild.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And then I did grad school at the U, so it was completely different. But
Yeah.
I was 35 years old.
Yeah. So you're like, just fuck everybody. I'm just here to learn.
I had to get a backpack and go back. And my youngest son at the time was, I think, 6 or 7. And he's all, Dad, you got to get a backpack and go back to school.
You're like packing your school lunches together. You're like, here you go, buddy.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
I swear he thought it was like really dumb. He's like embarrassed that his dad had to go to school.
He's like, oh my God, my dad's in college. It's so embarrassing.
It was.
That's really cute.
That is cute. though. I love that.
He questioned me about it.
Oh, I bet. Is there anything else that you want us to like really know about you, Shay, before we get into the topic?
Let's see. I've always been into sports, so that kind of was my upbringing. I was always competitive and had to win at everything. So I think that
Weird.
yeah.
I couldn't tell
Yeah.
by the like 4 encounters that I've had with you.
So I think you carry that for the rest of your life when when you're
You don't say.
do that. But
No, I love that about you. I actually think that you and I are so much alike.
yeah,
So similar.
yeah,
yeah,
we've had a
with
good time
2.
since we've met.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
We have 2 completely different backgrounds, but we are very much the same in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Should we get into it?
Let's get into it, babe.
Okay. But we haven't had a male on since our 3rd episode.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was talking to you the other day. I was like, we need a male perspective
Yeah.
on
Oh, it's so
dating because
And it's like the number one thing that people want is to
Yeah.
have a male perspective.
yeah, because they have our perspective all the time and all of our train wrecks and whatever, all of our fun escapades. But we want to hear about yours.
True. Okay.
Shan has all the questions.
I sure do. Let's get this party started. All right. So you're on the chopping block here because we've got some questions for you.
All right, let's go.
Inquiring women minds want to know.
It's one male's perspective.
Oh,
so yeah,
we
there's
always.
We always preface
We
that
always
this is
preface
our
that.
perspective. This
Yes.
is Shay's perspective on that. But
When we speak about topics that like people ask us questions on, we're like, we are speaking for ourselves. We're not like, this is not every woman or this is not every person, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
So you're good. You're in good company, my friend.
I like.
Okay. So I'm going to go in with a heavy hitter.
Okay.
What is something that women do in dating that men hate?
Something that women do in dating that men hate. I think when I first started dating, it seemed like there was a lot of women that played a lot of games. Like they would be dating 3 or 4 guys, which is very typical.
Yeah.
You're never. There's some people out there that'll date just one person and kind of focus, but
Right.
I'd say the majority are dating 2 or more.
yeah,
And sometimes it's kind of a taboo topic. It's maybe unsaid when you're dating someone and you get to the 3rd or the 4th date.
Yeah.
And maybe you've had sex at that point and you don't want to ask or be told, or even maybe you don't even want to know if
Right.
they're having sex with someone else or if they're dating someone else. So oftentimes, especially when I started dating, I could tell, and I was newer, so I didn't have a lot of experience. So I would just, be dating someone and then they'd be busy for the whole weekend. And, some people use the I've got my kids excuse, which sometimes is valid and sometimes isn't. But I think that was one of the early things I learned in dating is you're not the only one. Even if you're told
Yeah.
you're the only one,
Oh.
probably not the only one.
Oh, totally.
yeah.
I think that as we've gotten older, people are a little bit more clear and a little bit more honest about that. But that's funny because that was pretty much our same answer. Because when we first got into the dating world, we've talked about it on the podcast that it was so different. And we were like, okay, what is happening? Like, this is so unknown to us. Like, you're talking to other people. What the fuck?
Well,
I went on one date with you. How dare you?
Coming out of a monogamous relationship, it's foreign for sure, and so it does feel like people are playing games. But then now getting in, like, for us, like 3 years into dating, it is typical to be dating multiple people. But
Yeah.
you and I are, and I don't know about most women. I think most men sometimes are like, listen, know you're dating. We're on dating apps. That's how we met. Like, I'm dating other people. You're dating other people. Cool. Yep. If we want to have a conversation later, we can.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And awesome.
Just be honest.
It's true. Okay. So it sounds like it's pretty similar. I'm more interested to see how many things actually align that we think that men are so different than women.
Yeah.
Okay. So, next question. In your opinion, do men really care about women's physical imperfections? Because like Karina and I always say, we're like, fake it till you make it. Like, we don't feel good about ourselves, but just because we feel like, oh my God, my stomach's hanging out and I'm so bloated.
Like having kids.
Yeah.
Like at our age too.
Right.
Having kids or losing weight.
Stretch marks and
Yeah. That's a good question. I think there's a scale of some men care more than other men. But
totally.
But I think if you find a guy that's realistic, we're all imperfect and we've all,
Yeah. Well, I think I'm more speaking for our generation because I would say that like probably over 50% of our listeners are in our same like age group.
30 and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people want someone that's fit. They want someone that's working on themselves, but they don't want perfection. So,
yeah.
And I know women, you have constant reminders of you need to look this way and you need to look that way.
Thank you, media.
Yeah, with the media and with everything else. So, and men, they do look. I mean, when you're on a dating app, that's the first thing you see is you don't go and read the profile. You look at the
women are equally as guilty.
Right. You don't. I mean, you may read the profile at some point, but
I never do.
The swipe left or right or the the initial. If you see someone on Facebook, is
it's physical.
It's the physical that's first. And so I think the important part is that you're working on yourself. That you're you have good hygiene. You have. You don't have to be on a diet. I would never say go on a diet. Just have a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that will be reflected in your attitude, how you feel about yourself and how they feel about you. So
totally.
I'm not going to lie and say it's not important because guys notice and it is very high on the list, but just be someone that's working on yourself and fitness, it's a difference. It's a sliding scale of which guys have it more important than others.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say if you're focused on physical appearance, it's shallow.
Yeah.
But when you go on a date with someone and when you have, when you're physically intimate with someone, you want to have that desire. You want to have that attraction and that draw to them.
It's so true.
And whatever it is that draws you, you can't change what draws you to the opposite sex. So if the person has it, then you'll be drawn to them. And so I think it's for longevity in a relationship. I think that physical appearance is super, super important.
Well, and let's all have an honest moment here.
Yeah.
Everyone is online dating. Yeah. Everyone.
And that is the first pictures that you see online dating. Those are probably your best.
Yeah.
That you're putting on there.
Well, and what I'm saying is that that's what everyone is looking at. We're not. For me, Karina looks at the bios. For me, I'm like, oh, you're under 6'3". Bye. Like, you know what I mean? So we all have our things.
Yeah, we do.
And like, I don't need a super fit dude. Like I'm down with a good dad bod. Like I am here for it.
Anne loves a good dad bod.
But like, I also want to know. I do like hey.
Yeah.
But I do want to know that someone's like taking care of themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think when people transition from maybe a relationship or marriage to single life, I think it's like maybe a little kick in the pants and say,
absolutely.
You're not just trying to impress one person that you're locked in with. You have, I'm going to go on dates. I'm going to be out there. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's time to kick in the workout program if you haven't.
Well, yeah. And I mean,
dating.
Honestly, as we're getting older too, like it's just like, let's try to live a little bit of a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's true though, because like before I started, so when I first got on the dating apps, I was I still hadn't lost all my baby weight, but like getting on there like gave me the motivation to do it and to just like live healthier, take care of myself. Like, yes, my kids were number one at that time because they were still so freaking little. But I also had to be like, hey, I need to focus on myself. I need to do self-care. Yeah. I think self-care, like healthy eating, working out, and it just like that serotonin level too helps with the, like we always say, like fake it till you make it. Like you're putting that into your head. And I think it manifests too. And it makes you also in the physical want to do better in all those areas in your life.
I agree.
And that's great too. That's even better, I think, to do it for yourself rather than
that's the whole point. Yeah.
dating.
Right.
It does roll over into dating, but it should be for yourself.
Totally.
Yeah.
And if you're not comfortable in your own skin or like how you look, it's gonna come off when you're with someone and you're dating.
That's,
I feel a little bit insecure. And if you can take care of what you can take care of yourself, you're gonna pay attention to them more.
Yeah.
You're going to have more interactive conversations with them because you're not worried about yourself.
Yeah, you just
that,
feel better.
yeah. I found that a lot in dating, that the people that have their life more in order have more to give. And those people who maybe, were worrying about money or kids or custody. I don't know if you guys have ever dated anybody that's brand new into the single world from a divorce.
maybe a couple.
But they typically, there's some that maybe are the exception, but they typically have so much to worry about.
Yeah.
Divorce and money and kids and custody that they really don't have much to give at that point.
Emotionally, yeah.
Well, and that's why you shouldn't just be dating at that point anyway.
No.
The ones that are in their first year, I've just found, I've made good friends with a lot of them.
Yeah.
But many times they're not ready for a relationship, or they're not even ready to have an equal partner dating situation either.
Okay. Should we move on? Did everyone get it all out?
Do you want to say anything else, Shay?
I can't even question.
See, we go
to our life
on tangents, and we're like,
at 1,000%. I think you probably heard it in the episode with Jenny where she was like, I can't even remember the question. I was like, girl, story of my life.
She did say that.
Yeah, that is me, the gajillion fucking percent.
It's good conversation. The questions lead to good conversation.
Oh, it's so good.
Exactly.
That's like the whole point. It's so amazing.
Yep.
Okay, so what would you say that is your biggest turn on?
Oh.
Like not sexually, but like in general, like your biggest turn on, or like, I guess, green flag, as they say now, in a woman.
What and maybe you could say, what do I look for in a woman, and what's a turn on that draws me to a woman?
Yeah, because let's go ahead and preface really quick. You're not like actually looking for a relationship right now. You're just like out having fun. You're dating. You're living your best life. Is that accurate?
I think if something falls into your lap, maybe.
Yeah, I think I'd say I'm passively looking for a relationship.
You and me both, babe.
Yeah,
you guys are so much the same person. It's insane.
I'm dating, and if I found someone that our goals aligned and the attraction was there, and but I'm probably not going to be the one to be like, let's go down this road. She would have to stay in the game for a little bit and
plant the seed and do the things. Yeah,
but I'm not against it, because 10 years is a while. So you're
not wrong, my friend.
And my last relationship, the 2-year relationship's been probably 4 years ago now, 4.5 years ago. So
okay,
yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
What was the question?
Okay,
I forgot.
if that's okay, I'm about to
reiterate.
Yeah,
sorry.
So let's say you're looking for a potential partner. That is your goal.
Okay.
You are like, I'm fucking in it to win it.
Yep.
I am looking for my wife.
Okay.
What would be the biggest turn on that a woman could do? Again, not sexually. Green flag. Biggest green flag.
Biggest green flag. I think back to the people I've dated, the women that I've dated over the last 2 or 3 years, and to answer that, I would just look at the ones that for me, I really look for someone who is active, that she has her life in order, that she has her time and some free time so that we can spend time together. I travel on weekends quite a bit. So, you run into people that are busy and they just, their life consumes them. So I look for somebody who's able to recreate with me, because a big part of dating with me is recreation, and either travel or trips to Lake Powell, so I want someone that can do those things with me. So that's a big turn on, is their life has the balance that I would say, if we were to get into a relationship, we could continue with a balance that's already there. You don't have to reinvent yourself. She doesn't have to reinvent her life to fit you in. There's space for that.
So alone time and time together. It's okay. If you guys wanted my perfect answer for what a green flag would be for me, Shay just went ahead and put it out there. So thanks for that, Shay. I'll never have to answer that question again. That
Alone time together.
Yes.
all the things. I love that. That's totally
you become
perfect.
single, and when you're single for years and years, you have your alone time, and you value your alone time, and
It's my favorite time.
Yeah, and and the balance is different for everybody. You know, you may want
100%.
may want 20% of your time alone, and I may want 60% of my, and it may be flip flop. The example, but
Completely agree with
Finding
that.
someone that's in alignment with like your kind of time.
yes, and I've dated females that are extreme on, you know, they wanted a lot of alone time, and then I dated some that wanted none.
Yeah.
Because they wanted me there. And that's definitely not attractive when you start dating someone and they are so needy and you need to be there.
That's a lot.
Time, yeah. So
Could not agree more, babe.
And we're speaking for us because I think some women need that, but like, no.
Well, and I also think it flip flops too.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
No?
it does. It does. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I would like to see you 2 days in a row.
Yeah. Maybe I want to spend every second of every minute of every hour of every day with you.
No, 2 days is good.
Right. But
then,
you know,
but then I'm like,
that's us.
now I need 5 days away from you.
Oh my God, I know. I need to recharge my boyfriend battery.
Recharge it. But
So I'd
For
say,
real.
I like that answer.
Yeah, I like it too.
it's very attractive when a woman has her own life and it's organized. She has it put together, and then she makes space for you because she's actually choosing you.
Yeah.
Amen, honey.
In the, you know, the 4 love languages, my top one is quality time. When someone takes time out of their life
Venus.
to it, that's Venus.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What's yours, Shan?
What is it?
Words of affirmation.
I'm like, tell me I'm fucking pretty right now.
Mine is physical touch and quality time.
Yeah. Well, physical touch. That is a
Universal.
given.
That's universal.
Yeah. But mine is definitely words of affirmation. I love that shit. I'm like, tell me all the fucking time
Tell me
how much you
love
cannot
me
get
and how
enough of
pretty
me.
I am.
Yeah.
No, mine is like
In a relationship.
you can tell me
because in
how
dating
pretty-
it's a little different.
Yeah, you can tell me how pretty I am like 100 times a day, but if you don't make quality time for me, I'm like, no.
Yeah. And I'm just like, tell me I'm pretty.
We go.
Give me a fucking Big Mac.
Feed me and tell me I'm pretty.
That's exactly right.
The key to your heart. Right.
Okay. So what would you say is like a major turnoff or a major red flag?
Oh,
Major red flag.
or turn off.
Again, not sexually.
Yeah. For me, a major red flag is I've gone out a couple times recently with someone like this. We went on a few dates, and she immediately was wanting to know if I was talking to anyone else. After 2 or 3 dates, she was wanting, you know, she was curious, and I could tell she didn't want me to be on Bumble or Hinge or any of the dating apps.
I feel like I've been a little bit that psycho too, in my past.
And it was like, there's a right time and a right place for that. But
100%.
But there has to be a conversation. There can't just be an assumption.
But I'm getting what you're saying because it's kind of
Communication.
that like crazy eyes coming out of like,
This-
are you talking to other people? Are you on dating apps? Who is she? He's like, it's my mom.
It's true. I'll just tell you a brief story about I went out with this woman, and I had to pull up, we were going to one of my friend's house, and I had to pull up Google Maps so that we could get there.
Yeah.
And I had to do it on my phone. And when I went to go to Google Maps, a dating app was open on my phone just because all of the apps were open, right? Like I had to close like 4 apps.
Yeah.
And she looked at me, she went silent. She gave me the silent treatment. And then I got the address and we started going there. And then when we got there, she started crying. We'd gone out we'd gone out 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, I can't believe that you would have a dating app, you know, open when you're with me. And I thought that this was going somewhere. And I was like, those are just the apps that were open on my phone.
Right.
When I was trying to get the address, like, you gotta, like, we just barely met. We've known each other less than a week. So if this is your I know,
cutie.
poor thing, because if this is your conflict resolution in week 1,
Yeah.
it's probably not going to go any further than that. So that's a turn off because it's a game, it's a deal, it's an end.
I totally get that
It's the
because
end.
with my ex-boyfriend, I remember I took him to dinner for his birthday. Granted, we had been dating for months.
Yeah.
And I had asked him on the way to dinner for his birthday if he had slept with anybody else. And he was like, yeah, bald. Bald.
Crazy.
Could not fucking handle it.
Don't ask questions.
I was
on
very,
the
oh my God. Well, okay. But again, I was very recently divorced after like being in a relationship for like over 20 years. And so I was like, why? Okay, not that dramatic, but like I was like unfucking well. I was so heartbroken.
I definitely think it's different coming out like newly dating.
Yeah.
100%.
You're not sure how to navigate that, because I've done that before.
Yeah.
Where I've only dated one person and I'm like, oh, well, I'm only dating them. They should only date me.
Yeah, so I totally get that. But again, that was like the time that I realized, okay, so we're dating multiple people. This could be fun. And then I went off the fucking rails and it was amazing. And I loved it for me, because when I got divorced, I'd only ever been with like 4 or 5 people.
Yes.
And
Do you
then
remember the girls' night that we had?
Okay. We're going to segue for a second, because we had a girls' night one night. It was me and Karina and 3 of our other girlfriends. And we were on the porch shooting the shit. And we were talking about our body count, and everyone's thinking theirs. And then they get to me and I was like, like 5. They fucking walked out or walked into that. They were like, unfucking believable. They stood up and walked into the house. Like, they could not with me. They were like, fucking God, get the fuck out
like,
of here.
you need to get laid. Like multiple.
And when I say they stood up and like walked away, I am not kidding. That is how dramatic it was. They were like, this fucking girl. They're like throwing their cigarette butts at me or whatever. And I'm like, guys, come back.
We did. We were also drinking a lot of wine at the time.
They're like pouring their drinks out. And I was like, they were like, this fucking guy, rolling their eyes, like walking into the house. And I was like, come back.
So Shan's journey after that, when she's like talking to multiple guys, I'm like, get it, girl. Get it.
Every time I went on a date, I was like, hey, guess what, Karina?
Yeah.
Well, we had a group chat, so I was like, hey, guess what, guys?
Yeah, they were your biggest fan.
I'm at 6 now.
Yep.
Yeah,
6.
It was great. Well, but it's gone up significantly since then.
You know what's funny is I used to keep track when I was in high school, and then I threw it out because the guy that I got with at the time after high school was like, you should throw that out. That's so awful.
Did he find it?
He found it.
Yeah.
He found it and he was like, what is this? I'm like, nothing.
To be fair, I'm a little bit fucking psycho. So if I was with a guy I saw that, I'd be like, either put this somewhere where I will never find it again, or I'm fucking burnt.
He found it and made me throw it away because he's like, we're going to be together forever. And now after that, I'm like, I don't know where my count is now. Yeah. Because I have no reference.
It's at 472.
Pretty close. Pretty close. Just kidding.
Oh, I love that for you, babe. I mean, I'm getting there.
Hey, I'm very safe. I'm good.
Don't even fucking get me started. We should have a whole fucking episode about how Karina is the safest fucking person on the planet. And I'm just like, oh, you whipped your dick out. Let me sit on it.
Oh my God. No.
He pulls out a condom and I just throw it across the room.
Rip it off.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? Get out of here.
This trash.
You're gonna fucking raw dog.
Ask questions later.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's an antibiotic for that.
And watch, I get something and you don't.
Oh, 1,000%.
I'm like the safest
1,000%
ever.
I'm like, it looks clean. Fuck, it smells good. Let's do it.
I can't.
I should take that up, but I'm totally keeping it.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Sure. It's fucking gold.
Hold on, I need to recalibrate right
I'm
now.
gonna listen back on Monday and be like, what the fuck? Oh my God, my stomach hurts. Okay, that was fucking great.
That's good. Yeah. You bring that one. That'll be your segment of the year.
This is gonna be the one that puts us over the edge.
Yeah, segment of the year.
That's making me sweat. I can't.
Fucking hilarious.
You're lucky you're a female.
Oh my God. Oh, honey.
A guy cannot.
No, I want to do. I've told Karina. I've told Karina I want to do a whole ass segment of shit that women can say that men can't.
Oh, well, you can say it if you're a guy, but man, the women
like
would
in the privacy of your men,
in the privacy of your own home. But if you get it out on air,
oh my God. Oh, I know.
be prepared to be talked about.
Oh, Believe me. I know. I
I know it's gone.
I want to do a whole
it's
fucking
gone
episode
so
about it.
lopsided and like
It's unfair. And we get it.
unfair.
Yep.
Like, we're on everyone's side.
Yeah.
We get that there are shitty people in general.
Yeah, we should all be.
Gender.
There's shitty women. There's shitty men.
Yeah, we're all the human race. We should all be on the same team.
Amen, honey. Okay, Shay. So what is something that you wish that women understood better about dating from a man's perspective?
Yeah, I did think about that question. I think it's a great one. When you're a man, you're supposed to be kind of in charge of you're supposed to be
Like gender roles type.
yeah,
thing.
the gender roles stuff. And so women need to understand that typically it's a man's role to make the first move, initiate the first kiss. And men, I have no problem doing that. But then you get women who are like, oh, he was aggressive. Or, I think the women that get it understand that. Like if he makes a move and you're not interested, it's not all of a sudden he's a bad dude. He was just doing kind of what a man is, through all of the time of men in history,
Well, and I'm sorry, biology.
Yeah, the biology of it. Men have been, your DNA has been, if you're going to survive, you got to have sex and reproduce. And that is part of the gender roles even today. And most women, once you want to be with that person, once you're in a comfortable level with a man, you love that. You love to be wanted. You love for a man to, take charge and be aggressive in sex, in, leading in a relationship. So I think there's just a gray area when you're dating and a fine line that men have to learn of, can I be aggressive in the sense that I'm going to take charge and make the first move, but you have to be aware of the other person and do they want that advancement? So it's something that
I think a lot of it has to do with communication too, though.
Yeah, communication and reading body language and understanding, is it a first date? Is it a second date? When is it okay to do that?
Yeah.
Everybody has different rules in their own head of when they want to have, any intimacy or physical with somebody. So as a man, you don't know. If you go on a first date with someone, this woman may love to have sex on the first date.
Yeah.
And another one may want to wait until the fifth date. So what if they act exactly the same?
Right.
And you're like, I don't know. I went on 2 dates and this person loved it. And this other person in the exact same scenario was more about, I'm going to wait till the fifth date type person.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, babe. I'll be totally honest with you. I can't speak for everybody, but I'm speaking for women in general. I'm sorry. Women are just never satisfied. Doesn't matter if you do it too soon, too late, like in between.
Right.
Like there is unless you get a woman like me and Karina, sorry, we're the fucking cream of the crop. We really are, because we're very upfront. We will very much tell you what we want. We will very much tell you what we don't. And I speak for Karina because I'm
very communicative.
Yeah, but I
my own
know
way.
in my own self, like I am very like, hey, are you going to kiss me or not? Like, you know what I mean? But like women that aren't and just like expect you to know,
it's a guessing
that's
game
got to
if you
be
don't-
100%. And it's not fair. It really isn't. Like from a male's perspective, it's really not fair because you can't just live on a guessing game. But they might leave the first date without giving you any social cues of like, hey, I want you to kiss me, and then talk to their girlfriends and be like, oh my god, he didn't even kiss me.
Right.
He's not interested. Blah 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 blah.
Well, I think we've said that on the podcast so many times. Like, no one is a mind reader. Like, you have to be communicative about your intentions. It doesn't have to be like, Shan. I mean, it's great that you do that. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well,
Take off.
Are you gonna kiss me now? Or it is like the body language thing where it's like, if you're coming in for a kiss and I lean in, like that is the thing. Or you can be like, oh, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
It's
And then the guy has to deal with rejection.
Well, okay. But
yeah, that's another thing.
I will tell you a really good thing that you can do, which has happened to me on multiple dates, and it's appreciated and it's a little bit endearing. I'm not going to lie, but I'll have a guy like we're like saying goodbye and we're doing the things, and he'll be like,
Can I kiss you? Yeah.
And it is incredibly endearing.
Yeah.
And if they say no, just be like, okay, love you, boo.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Yeah. It's hard though, I think, for men, because women are, myself, I'm speaking for myself. We can be so in our heads and be like, oh, well, he should have known, but they don't freaking know.
Oh, see, and I have such a good view of it that I'm just like,
And you have
How could he
helped
have known?
me. You have helped me with that. And so I am more communicative and open about that and talking about that.
Yeah.
But women, just tell them what you want and what you don't want, and it'll be okay.
That's the biggest thing is like, okay, the biggest piece of advice that I could give a woman on a first date, like if you're into it, like give the signs, let it be known.
Mm-hmm.
Men, if you want it to happen, like do the thing that Karina and I said, because honestly, it's fucking cute. And it is super fucking endearing when someone's like, they're holding you close and they're looking in your eyes and they're like, can I kiss you? It's like fucking sexy.
But it's
like
also
panty dropper sexy.
yes, panty dropper, flood our basements, all the things.
All the things. It's hot.
However, for women, sometimes when they get in their heads, if a man on the first date isn't showing those signs as well, maybe we don't know.
It's so true. It's so
And then at the end of the date, they're like, can I kiss you? And you're like, oh, well, I don't know, because you weren't showing me those signs either.
just like, be to the point where you're saying goodbye and you're looking at each other's eyes and you can tell that he's a little shy and just be like, are you going to fucking kiss me or not? I love that it goes both ways. I love that we're also in our fucking head but you're so right though, when it comes to like, being a man and like not really being certain, because it could go sideways really fucking fast for men in this generation.
Oh yeah, you got to be careful.
It all started with the Me Too movement, which was such a beautiful thing that happened.
Yeah.
But then it got so fucking out of control.
Yeah.
Where people were like,
They knew, some women knew they could take advantage of it and say
100%.
anything
Yes.
unchecked, and that,
when that all started happening, my boys were, my oldest I think was around, I don't even remember, but I remember he was old enough to be like dating and stuff. And I've always told my boys this, but when that Me Too movement came out, and again, praise to the Me Too movement. It helped so many women. I love that for them. There have been women that have taken advantage of it. But I told my boys, I'm like, hey, like if you're going on a date, like you need to ask, like, can I kiss you? Do you want me to kiss you? Yeah. Is it okay if I hold your hand? Can I give you a hug? I was worried for my boys. Yeah. Being a boy mom, like that fucking scared me.
Yeah. And if you're divorced and if you have money, it's even worse. I mean,
Well, you're a father of 3 boys.
I'm a father of 3 boys that, they're all teenagers and just starting to date.
It was like a sit down conversation I had with my kids.
I'm not worried about it with my kids as much. I don't know.
It's a conversation worth having.
It is a conversation.
It was never a worry with my boys. Karina knows my boys. They're fucking amazing.
Yeah. No, my kids are great too. And it's, you got to just watch out for, I think one thing I was thinking about when you guys asked me to come on the podcast, I think it's for women. I think it's so important for women to have other female friends that don't hate men, or that are sex positive, that are people that they can go and talk to in a real fashion about their dating life and not be shamed and not be why that he's out to get you. Like maybe, just look at it from a neutral standpoint. And so I would
preach, honey.
Yeah, your podcast really brings, and what you guys do in your regular lives really brings that to, we can really talk about it. We can be honest, and, we can be friends with these guys and we can date these guys. And, most of the time people are just looking to, have fun, have a relationship, or have some kind of connection with people as they're dating. Yeah. Most people don't have ill intentions.
It's true.
Having the same female friends who have the same views as you. And
even if they don't have the same views as
you, opening up their minds,
yes,
a little bit, and being like, hey, this isn't, because like we've always said, like first getting into dating, I never had I never had hate towards men, but I did have a different expectation. And
yes,
because I was in a long-term monogamous relationship, and so I had a different view in my mind of how dating should go. But as I've dated longer and longer, it is like you said, Shay, like sometimes you're going on dates and you're making friends and you're doing the things, and like you have no malintent, I have no malintent, like this could be a beautiful thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Or it could turn into something more. And I've had people that I've dated that we're friends to this day.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And it doesn't have to, like, I don't hate men.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to hate men. Sometimes there's just like miscommunication, or it's like the timing is off, or, something.
Yeah.
Well, and to your point, Shay, like you could have had the best time with a woman and it could have been executed perfectly. kiss at the end of the night, most perfect date, all the things. And then she goes and tells her girlfriends and they're like, oh my God, I cannot believe. And then she's like, oh my God, I cannot believe. Like,
Other women
just have a
influence.
mind of your own.
Yeah.
And I'm not here. Yeah, we're not here to like bash men or women. We're here to try to educate that like we're all on the same fucking team here.
Right.
Like we're all doing the same thing. We're all trying our best. We're all out here just like fighting for our fucking lives. Like, just give everybody a little grace. Like that's all you can do is just give people a little bit of grace.
Well, and I think like dating in your 20s, 30s, 40s it's different. Like 20s, totally different. 30s, totally different. And now being in our 40s, I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to have fun.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Yeah. As your kids get older, you get a little bit more freedom too, as far as being able to get out and go.
Oh, it's so true.
And
Yeah, it's amazing.
And with your custody being, whatever it is, usually you have half the time or a portion of the time that you're free as well. So
Yeah.
as
No,
you
it's
get
so
older, it's a really good point, Karina, that you're as you get older, your dating evolves, and it evolves with your life of what brings you happiness, what
100%.
you look for in a partner as you get older can change and evolve,
and be open-minded to let that happen.
Yeah, be open-minded.
Like, let it evolve. Like, let those old stagnant thoughts that you used to have about dating, like, dissipate.
Yeah.
And just, like, open yourself up to, like, new ways of thinking or viewing dating or viewing dates and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you have a good point to make?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like 20s, 30s, 40s. Like 20s, you're dating to marry, have kids. It's totally different.
Yeah.
30s, maybe still marrying, dating to have kids, and
Getting out of serious relationships.
Getting out of serious relationships. And like 40s, like you have kids already.
Right.
You're out of a relationship. You're out of a divorce. And like it's really just about you, and you're not trying to find somebody to fill a marriage or fill having kids with. Like it's all about you, which makes it I'm only 40, but I've loved dating in my like late 30s,
6 months into
40s. But it's a completely different thing. Like I've had my kids, I've had my long-term relationships. Like I want to date for me and like find somebody who aligns with me. And in the meantime, I'm going to have some fucking fun.
I call it dating for experiences. So
yes,
100%.
date, if some guy offers to take you on a trip, you should go.
1,000,000,000%.
Hey, when you taking me on a trip?
Oh, I have been.
True. We have Lake Powell trips that we do all year.
Hey,
so
take me.
There you go.
And Shan, we're a package deal.
Lake Powell trips. We do a Nashville trip with friends.
Oh my God, we love Nashville.
Oh my God, Nashville! Like,
have experiences and have a good group of friends where you can all go. And
you totally should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's
if
good advice.
if you are looking to date for like marriage, like don't settle for someone who is just like looking to date.
Yeah.
Like just like make sure your priorities are straight and make sure you're aligning with the person that you're actually going out with. Okay. We're going to move on to the next question because I have some really good ones and this is running long, which is great because I think it's really great content.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel when a woman makes the first move?
It depends if you're wanting to kiss her or not, or if you're wanting that advancement. So when the same as when a female goes on a date, you guys sometimes the females assume that the man always wants to advance with kissing or sex or whatever, because most of the time men do, right? Like, you guys would never be like, I wonder, but it does happen where I've gone on dates before where I don't want to have a makeout session. I don't want to have sex, whether it's a first date or second date. So in that case, it would be very awkward if I didn't want to. And I wasn't planning on it, which has happened to me before. Right. So I've been on dates where, you start the date and maybe you end up wherever you end up. And I was like, no, I'm not feeling it. The attraction's not there. Yeah. And then the woman has made a move. Yeah. And like I had to, I felt bad because it's like when a woman makes a move, that's a bold move for her. And then to be rejected and she's like, oh man, I thought all guys just wanted to. Right. This. And so I've had a couple of situations where I didn't want to. Then you have to kind of, I got to go home, or you make the same excuses that you would as a girl. If if you're on a date and a guy tries to kiss you and you don't want to, my kids are home.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to do that too. So in that instance, it would not be looked at positively, but I have had situations I'm just thinking of a couple dates where I went on a date for Valentine's Day this year, and we went out. We went to Lake Effect, and like we went to Ivy and Varley first. We had dinner, then we had drinks at Lake Effect afterwards, and we were sitting at the table. We got up and we danced a few times, and I looked down at my phone, and she'd text me, and she said, "When are you going to take me home?" On a text while we were out. So it was kind of cute. It was kind of a cute, like,
that is
little
cute.
hint.
Very endearing.
Yeah, it was like a little hint of, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Right.
Oh, that is cute.
Yeah, that is cute.
It was. So in that case, it was awesome. Yeah.
So
I love
because
that.
you were attracted to her, you were having a good time, and so that bold move was like a turn on.
Yeah, it was just
good.
It was, just kind of like the ask if you want to kiss somebody. She kind of asked and hinted all in one, and it was like a surprise because I hadn't looked at my phone. It was like I didn't even see it for like 20 or 30 minutes. So she texted and was like,
she's like
waiting, like, like
staring daggers.
When are we going? Yeah. Oh, that's cute.
That is.
I like that.
It was fun.
Okay, so great response. I love that. I love that you are like not just giving like yes, no responses, or like you're actually like giving examples. Like that is very, very beneficial, and I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got 10 years of dating experience or stories. 10 years of stories I can share.
Rail, my friend.
Some of your stories are fun.
Okay, so I only have a couple of questions left, but this one is going to be one for the ladies and inquiring minds want to know.
Ooh.
Again, we get that Shay is just speaking for himself. He cannot speak for all men, but I think that this is kind of like one of those things that it's like, it's either a yes or a no. Okay. If a man stops texting or making plans like he normally would, is it a sign that he's no longer interested?
If a man...
like, let's say we text every day.
Yeah. No. So if you don't look at it from a minute by minute or an hour by hour scenario.
Right.
If a guy's at work and he's busy and he has meetings, I know some women who have the rule that they won't double text. They call it double text, meaning they were the last one to text.
We just talked about this, and I was like, I'll text you 27 times in a row with no shame.
Right.
Like, I won't.
I don't believe in the no double texting because you might text something and then they may be in a meeting or they may be with their kids for 2 or 3 hours. Don't expect that. But if a guy goes 2 days, like the next day he doesn't text you.
Let's say that it's just like fading. Like you're texting all day long, every day. You've had a few dates.
Okay.
Things seem to be going really well, but then like after the third date or whatever, like
he's fading off.
The next day he's not texting like he normally would, and then the next day kind of same. He's not making
all
plans.
day every day, but just like he
didn't make plans like he normally would after the third date. Like, I can't wait to see you on Saturday. Do you have plans? I'm going to take you out to a picnic in the woods and rail you against a tree.
Chase you with a mask.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah, he's losing interest. He's prioritizing someone else.
Yeah. You hear that, ladies? He's losing interest. Stop trying. Yeah. You could do a backflip on his dick, and if you ain't the one, you ain't the fucking one.
And you might not be the 2 or the 3 or the 4
That's
either.
Exactly right.
That's if a guy wants a woman, he will move
make
mountains.
It known.
He will move mountains. He will go across oceans. He will make it happen. I promise.
Shay, can we hold hands for a second? Because thank you. I love that because it's fucking true.
It's true.
It's true.
If a guy is, you're the one that he's primarily interested in and the most interested in, he will make it's in our DNA. We have been through thousands of years of reproduction. We're the ones that made it.
You and I are so much the same fucking
You
person.
guys are
ridiculous.
so much the same.
There's books about this. Have you read? I don't know if you've read Mating in Captivity.
No, but I'm sure I would be like, yep.
Yeah, there's a couple different books that talk about kind of the evolution and the dating, but also just humanity and how it's evolved over time, and sexuality and how it's evolved over time.
I want to read it. In fact, the book that you gave me led me to another book.
Okay.
It talked about it in like the first 20 pages, another book that he had talked about in that map book, the map book or whatever, to another book that talks about like the psychology of like why we are who we are and like how to change. Like if you truly want to change to be like a happier, better person, to totally segue. It's fucking fascinating and I love it. Yeah. Anyway, Anyway, okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Because
I'll confirm.
women are like, no.
Straightforward answer.
Well, yeah,
though,
and they will
because-
women make excuses, every excuse in the book, or will be so in our head. But like, okay, so let's say that happens.
Mhm.
You're super into a girl. You go on the third day. You realize, meh, she's not for me. It starts fading off. Like, what's the best thing a woman could do, in your opinion, to be like, hey, what's going on? Like, is that as simple as it is?
To have a talk about it.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, things are different. Like, what's up?
I think first you need to set expectations, because we all have this defense mechanism. When we get rejected, the first thing we want to do is say, I didn't get rejected. It's something else. He's with his kids today. He's with his job today, or he's whatever else. And if he's fading, and you can noticeably feel he's fading, odds are that he is fading. You have to prepare yourself for the real answer. And I think exactly what you said, you need to have a talk about it.
Yeah.
The problem is, if you've only gone on 2 or 3 dates, and I've had this experience, there's many people who feel they do not owe you an explanation after 1 date or 2 date of real conversation.
Yeah.
Because, if you've gone on 40 dates this year and there's 12 different people that you've gone on dates with, can you really define the relationship with 12 different people?
Yeah.
Body language and texting and everything really does give the sign of, especially from a male. I think as a female, you expect a guy to lead as far as sending text first and planning events first. Yeah. So if a female, to switch the question, if a female doesn't, text you for a day or two, I think that's more normal, because she expects you to, pursue. And part of the chase is
true.
Yeah. Part of the chase is a woman might just be busy, and she is with her kids, and she hasn't texted you. And when you text back in 3 days, she could still be just as interested. She just may be busy. There, a bunch of other guys may have texted her in that time. But a man, if a man wakes up and you're the first person he thinks about, he's not going to go a day without texting you.
Oh my God, I love that. That kind of gave me the feel good fuzzies. That's really cute.
So, but it's hard to when it's not you that he's thinking about, and there's no text. We all, none of us like that feeling,
right?
So
you're not wrong.
We don't like that feeling, but sometimes the truth hurts. And,
sometimes it just is what it is.
And one thing I'll say in dating is, you meet and you date so many people, it's not a revolving door, but it's a rotation of, this person of, I want to date this person. And then you find another person. Everyone's dating 2 or 3. So you have to have tough skin. Yeah. You have to have, I'm not for everybody.
You really do in the dating world.
But sometimes you get lucky and you find people that you really, whether it's dating or just a friendship or a long-term, situationship, you can find all of those things in dating. Yeah. And they can be very healthy if you're honest and communicate, and you both have, you look each other in the eye and say, here's what we're doing, and don't hide anything. That's kind of the one thing that I would say. I'm very open and transparent and honest of here's who I am and here's what I'm looking for. It could get misinterpreted a little bit with, maybe you're not looking for a relationship, because I don't put in a box of, if you're not someone I'm looking for, that I won't go out with you. I think I'm looking for someone who's a friend. I'm looking for someone who can come on fun activities. So there's a range of people I'm looking for, but that doesn't mean I'm not looking for the one along with all of that.
Yeah.
So
no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
Okay, now we're going to get to some fun stuff.
Okay.
Ooh, it's only one fun question, boo.
Oh, man.
Well, mainly women. I know. Mainly women just want to know about all the dating things and the ins and outs of why men are acting or being the way they are.
That was a good ex.
Boo. Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite sexual position?
I would say...
I would like to know this.
Can you have 2?
Oh, you can have more than one.
I would say my favorite is female on top, sitting up. It's a good view from the bottom.
Yeah. Like facing you.
Facing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if some people call it T-bone. Some people call it...
never heard of that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that either. Makes sense.
Karina, favorite sexual position? We probably talked about it. We have talked.
Doggy style.
Amen, honey.
Doggy style.
Oh my God, I love doggy style.
Rail me from behind.
Yes. Bend me over a bed.
Me, pull my hair.
Pull my hair.
All the things. Because you can get so many things done from behind.
Oh my God. Jesus. Okay.
You know what? So, some of the men that I've been with lately,
it's not their favorite?
Yeah.
Not working.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was like high on the list of men's favorite.
For real.
Yeah.
The men that I've been with recently, I'm like, you want me to do that? They're like, no, it's okay. I'm like, well, how are you going to spank me then?
I want you to spank me, Daddy.
I don't say daddy.
My God, sir.
Fucking say daddy. We talked about this.
Some people don't like that.
I've never fucking said daddy in my whole entire life.
I've never said daddy.
It's just
I
a
have
social thing that people say. So
I've said like yes
funny.
sir or like yes and their name, that kind of thing.
Daddy's not your thing.
Daddy is not my thing. No,
But some girls it is.
Poppy.
some girls it is. No,
Hey, puppy.
no. I know I'm Hispanic, but no.
Okay, so you've, I imagine, fulfilled most of your fantasies, but what would you say is your number one fantasy? And if it's already been fulfilled, what was it?
Number one fantasy. Well, so just when I got married, I was a virgin.
Yeah, you were, you little babe.
Yeah.
Cute
So
little puppy.
you get to be 35 years old and you got to go out and explore the world and try to figure out. So you have as a male, you have all the things like what could I do with life now being single? And so I think every man has a fantasy of having a threesome. Yes. Like without.
Yep.
Yep. Every man wants to do that.
Oh, I know. I just talked to someone about this.
So I mean, I've talked to some females and they're like, not every man. And I was like, that guy was probably lying to you.
He was definitely lying.
Every man is lying if they say they don't want a threesome.
I have ran into a few that have said they don't, but I think they're lying. So that was kind of
The lies you tell.
the first fantasy that I had, like as I became single. But on a one-on-one basis, I had a fantasy of having sex on a beach, but I did not want to have sex on a beach with sand. So
That is my thing.
sand
will get into all the crevices.
right. So you have to go to a resort.
I'm like, make me a pearl, baby.
So
There's nothing worse than a sandy vagina.
yeah,
Exactly.
nobody wants a sandy vagina. So
No.
I've found out that as I've traveled to Costa Rica and Mexico, a couple different places, you can go out and there's usually cabanas out near the ocean. And I was in the Dominican Republic recently and I was walking the beach. I was alone.
Oh my God, please tell me you just found a random chick and you fucked
No, I didn't.
her.
Oh, damn it.
I wish the story were better, but I walked up and down in Punta Cana.
That's where we were.
Yeah, you went there? Yeah. So I just walked along and you can go from resort to resort and there's a lot of them that have the cabanas. So, and I have had sex in a cabana on the beach.
Yeah.
It's much better than in the sand. So that's,
I will never have sex in the sand.
yeah. I think that's the challenge for everybody out there. If you want to have sex on the beach, find a cabana.
Or just do it doggy style.
Oh, there's that too. There's no sand.
Yeah.
Or up against a palm tree. Okay.
Threesome was always my thing too, but in a different.
Yeah, well, mine is still male
And my-
and female, and I have yet to do it.
I got my fantasy fulfilled.
We know, honey.
I know.
I'm waiting on mine. I have one man that's down, but I'm just waiting for
I need another.
Number two. So what we're saying is everybody, male and female, has the fantasy of a threesome with no.
I don't think so.
I think
In this group,
women.
anyway.
I think women have the fantasy of a threesome. However, if they're not attracted to women, I do think that their fantasy is male, female.
I think so too.
way
I think
harder
it's
to find.
more like your experience rather than like a fucking porn experience. Like we just want to be
experience-
taken care of. Like
My
we just
experience
want
was
to
great.
love me.
And some
Take
people
care of me.
they may be shy or they may be have a little bit of shame to be able to say what they really want.
Totally.
Yeah, that could happen.
Okay. Well, I only have one more question,
All right.
and it's: do you have any questions for us?
That's a hard one. You got to come prepared for that one.
Hey,
You have
No,
your list.
we do it on the fly.
Yeah. Question. I'll ask each of you one.
Sure.
Karina,
Yes.
this is your 20th episode of your podcast, and I've listened to. I haven't listened to all of them, but I've listened to a majority of them. So I think it's fun. I think it's upbeat, and it's positive for men and women. So I think you could
Thank
really
you.
expand your
Yeah, thank you very much.
viewership to both men and women that would love to listen.
It's 50% men and
Is it?
50% women. I went and looked at the analytics. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's awesome. So my question for Karina is, in the last 20 plus weeks, it's probably been a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
What have you learned since you've started a podcast, and has it been in life or in dating, or what has been affected most by doing a podcast? Because I think it's a great experience. You meet cool people. You're able to have a platform to talk.
And you don't realize how much you open up to like help other people too.
Yeah, I think having the podcast, it was really scary at first. Yeah. It was nerve-wracking because we're putting our lives out there. We're being real, raw, feral. But it's just like who Shannon and I are, which is why we've decided to start it. But then putting it out publicly was super scary. Yeah. But it has made me be like more confident and more outgoing in my normal life, and being more communicative and being just like me. And like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yep. And I think we learned so much with each episode too, that it helps us grow and learn and be more confident as well.
Yeah.
Good. No, that's a great answer. And Shan.
Oh God, yes. Yes, honey.
What is your favorite memory of your podcast so far? Like, what experience or what guest or what's something that stands out that you're just like, this has made it worth it, the time? And you guys have put a ton of time, a ton of effort.
Shan puts a ton of time into it.
Yeah, and I know you guys, just with me and the week that we've prepared for me to come on, you guys, you send questions, you get to know the guests. So, what's been a memorable experience for you?
I would definitely say that my favorite guest was Jenny. Like, she was awesome. She's just so fucking sweet and down to earth. And we, as the audience now knows, like, as we did the episode with her, is that we had only known her for like a week or two before she came on. But her and I instantly became friends. We went to lunch together. And then she came on the podcast, and then we hung out with her. We went on a hike. Like,
all the kids.
We talked to her. Amazing. Yeah. She's just like,
she's a great girl.
She is. She's a boss bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't generally find very genuine female friends at this age, or kind of at any age. It's very hard to find female friends who are like not going to talk behind your back, or don't
not
like drama, or they're not in competition with you. So I would say that she was my favorite guest. She's just amazing. Like, getting to know her more as a person, I really truly think that she's just like, when we went on the hike with her, I told her that Karina and I were adopting her. So I truly just think that she's so fantastic. Her episode was amazing. She was super vulnerable. She was a little nervous when it came out, or when she was here recording and when it came out, and just her light still just like shone through, and it was so incredible.
Yeah. She's the person that would be loyal. She's like one of the most loyal friends you can.
Yeah. Oh no, she's fantastic. We love her.
Yep, I love her.
The best thing for me about having this podcast is the strangers that have reached out to us, the people that I know that I didn't know these certain parts of their life that have reached out to us, telling us how much this podcast has helped them, telling us that it has opened up their either view of men or women, or it has helped them in their own current relationships, or helped them with dating. And just that we have been like a guiding light for, which is silly to say because it is kind of a funny, lighthearted podcast, but we are incredibly real, and we're putting our lives out on the line. Yeah. And so it's nice to hear this feedback from people saying that it has like helped them in one way or another in their life or in their marriage. And that has been, I will be on a fucking high for days after getting these comments or private messages from these people, and it is fantastic, and I absolutely love it. Even the hate comment, like, we're like, you know what, that's fine, you can hate us, we cannot care, you can think what you want, because we're putting our shit out here.
Right.
You're not.
We're doing things that people don't fucking talk about, and they don't do, and we are giving our own life experiences. And so it's so rewarding when people come back to us and tell us that, like, this is making an impact on my life.
Yeah.
It's true. Long form podcasts really are a way to get to know people.
Totally.
And people get to know you, and they get to know Karina, and you feel like you know the person even if you haven't met them. That's how I feel with podcasts I've listened to, and even you guys. So
yeah, well, thank you.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you so much for being on. Like, seriously, this has been something that we've really wanted to do. And honestly, Shay, like, after meeting you, I was like, he might be my twin. I cannot know.
I've said that before.
Not in every way, but like in a lot of fucking ways. Like you and I are a lot of the same.
Let's talk about the first conversation you and him have ever had.
Oh my God.
And like after that, I was like, you guys are so much alike that you like almost.
I was fighting with for sure.
A little bit.
I was fighting with this man over the phone before I even met him because I wanted his fucking phone number to keep track of my Karina. And he was like, no. And I was like, this motherfucker.
But then when you guys met, it was like
we weren't mad at
good and like so
No.
great. And I was like, you guys are so much alike that you would get along so well.
Oh no, it was fantastic.
I just had to
honestly,
say,
It's like whose dick is bigger?
Yeah.
basically.
Nobody tells me what to do.
No. Nobody tells her what to do.
I know.
You know what's funny? Yeah.
Understood.
Oh,
You
yeah.
understood.
Oh, yeah. Because we are the same. It's like
You're like,
a fucking pissing contest for real.
Like, can a guy tell me that? Can he tell me? Nobody will tell him what to do.
Oh, God,
And I
no.
did. I told you.
Oh, I was pissed. I told
Sure.
Sean was at my house, and I was like, Sean, pack your bags.
Who is this guy?
Oh, I was unfucking well.
I was okay.
Oh, I know.
It was fine. It was a fun night. We went to dinner with
It was fun. It was, in fact, we got put on a text thread together and Shay was like, don't let Shan have my phone number. I was like, go fuck yourself, Shay.
I thought we talked about this.
It's all good now, though.
Oh, no, it's
Bring
all
the
in good
beautiful
fun.
minds together.
No, it's all in good
in
fun.
my own way.
Yeah.
Any
No,
way
it's
you meet a new friend, I think it's awesome. So
Yeah, no,
podcasts,
it's
podcasts, good friends, groups in the single life. Yeah,
it's been really good.
We're all in it together.
Yep.
Yes.
Amen, honey. Okay. Shay, is there anything else that you want to touch on or any other piece of advice that you'd like to give to our fellow dating peeps out there in the world?
No, I think we covered it. I think
so.
be yourself, be honest,
Yes.
be kind.
Yes.
And
Kind.
we're all in it together. We're all on the same team. It's not men versus women. We're all the human race, and we all just want to date. We want to have fun, and we want to make friends and enjoy life. So
Yep.
I love that.
as you're out there dating, have the most fun you can.
Oh my gosh, it's so true.
Yes.
Be lighthearted, especially if you're just dating, just
So
date.
personally.
Think so
Jesus.
personally, and like give people some grace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Shay, is there any socials or anything that if people want to connect or ask questions or anything, they can contact you?
Yeah, my Instagram is Shaybert Utah. So ShaYbert Utah. And yeah, I'm there. My kids are on there. I have fun. I have mostly all my friends and what I'm doing with life. And feel free to reach out. I love new friends. And
I was going to say your page is a good time, but I'm pretty sure we're not even friends.
you can add me.
I just know your life is a good time. So
I love new friends.
Shaper.
It's true.
Okay, cool.
Really good. Thanks for having me on. It's fun.
No, absolutely. We are so happy. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I know it can be like a very vulnerable thing to come on and talk about these kinds of things. And we just really appreciate that you made the time for us. And now let's go get a fucking drink.
Let's go do it. Have a drink.
All right. Yeah. Okay. If you would like to find us, we're at Not So Secret Lives podcast or just Not So Secret Lives on all of our social medias, on TikTok, fucking all the goddamn, I fucking hate this part.
I know.
It's the goddamn worst. Okay. And you can find us anywhere that you stream your podcasts. We're on all of the platforms. So find us, like us, rate us, give us good ratings. Okay, guys?
Give
Come
us
on.
good ratings. Give us horrible comments.
Yeah.
We'll read them in a year and we will have an episode about it.
Yeah. Hey, if you want a shout out, you know where to go. But honestly, what we really want are the good comments. We want your feedback. We would love to hear what you think of the podcast. Give us a 5-star rating wherever you're listening. And is there anything else you want to talk about, Karina?
I don't think so. I just love you so
I love you too, babe. Ba-ba-da-da.
Woo!
Woo! Good times were had all around.
To whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds can stack back against the wall, but even consider it such, know you'll stand firm. Sit and watch from the sidelines, one too many times, we get games to play, make me wanna lose my mind. Bounce all the